Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Tuesday, December 3, 2024. Making the headlines tonight, CAT scan down at the KHMH. Balmopan in shock as resident dies while police processed accident scene. Voters appealing decision that they be struck off Kaya North register, and separate fires leave families homeless. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
Mass 2024.
Welcome back. With your news, I am Marisol Amaya. The Carl Hushner Memorial Hospital Authority today confirmed reports that its CAT scan machine is down. This is the same state-of-the-art machine acquired by the Ministry of Health and installed in March this year. In a release this afternoon, the KHMH informed that a condensation issue caused communication problems in the hardware components, requiring the replacement of a small part. According to the release, they also addressed the root cause of the communication problem. A specialized technician from the supplier arrived in Belize today to oversee the restoration work. The KHMH also informs that it has made arrangements with nearby facilities to, quote, ensure the continuity of care for our patients requiring CT imaging, end quote. The institution also shared that since April this year, the machine has been used to conduct almost 1,500 CT scans. Belmopan residents are in shock after a well-known food vendor at the Central Market, 54-year-old Miriam Cordon, died unexpectedly in a traffic accident last night. She and Joshua Magania and Angel Pastrana were traveling in a red Chevy Equinox, which was held up in a line of backed-up traffic due to a first traffic accident involving a gray Kia Soul SUV. Unfortunately, while police were processing the scene for the accident involving the Kia Soul at mile 25 and 26 on the George Bryce Highway, the red Chevy was hit from behind by a white van driven by Leroy Nunez. Police detained Nunez at the scene. Reports are that he appeared to be intoxicated. Cordon had a vibrant personality that will be missed by many. Our colleagues at Plus TV spoke with her friend, Corinne Rodon.
Me and Miriam are very good friend. I get to know Miriam around the market because she's a business person just like me. And from the time I get to know Miriam, she's a very kind, loving, and jovial person. Miriam was so good to us. Everyone around this market miss her so much today. When we hear the tragic, well, I never hear it until this morning because they never want to tell me last night. Okay. And they tell me like 6:30 this morning, my son tell me, and it was heartbroken for us. Okay. You know, and the last time Miriam speak to us, Thursday, he me going to Mexico. He said go visit his sister. So he come in here and he dress up and he got on the hat and everything, and I tell him, mother's girl, I tell him, you look like Mexican. He say, yes man, you know how I do it, and she don't want, you know. And that was the last time we heard from Miriam. She, our person, whenever she cooks something special, she would come and said to me, Cor, I cook this girl and I cook black dinner and I know you love that. I want to bring some for you because you know I cook the best. That's how she do it, you know. And man,
friendly competition, huh?
Very friendly competition because around here we know stuck up with none of we workers them, everybody. If we don't have food, we say, Mary, you got this, or yeah, say, Patty, you got this, Therese, you know, everybody cooperate with one another. And that's how we know Miriam, man.
How many years would you say you've known her?
I know Miriam over 20 years.
You both sell here?
Both sell here, yes, because first when the whole market media, she used to sell dry goods, yeah. You know, and then when we come back, that this market here, she get a stall to sell food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you think the atmosphere be now with Miss Miriam no longer being around?
Man, it just gone and we done miss her already. Because as morning time and she come, we don't have to ask if Miriam come. We know it here. Because as he come, he put on the music and she got the place lively and bright.
Yes.
Injured in the first accident were 22-year-old Aliyah Torres and Aisha Williams after the driver, 49-year-old Kelvin Reno, lost control of the vehicle, causing it to flip. A retired Ministry of Health worker, Steve Miles, his wife and 14-year-old grandson were left without a home due to a fire that happened late this morning on Dougal Street in the North Creek area of Belize City. Miles told us that nothing was saved as he and his wife decided to go to the store after the house was fumigated for mosquitoes. Miles suspects that the fire started due to the fogging machine igniting something under the wooden house to which he had made an addition upon retirement.
They fogged it out, and around the house it looked like the fire out of the machine. And fire came out, but we never know it may touch something underneath the house or so. So we just, I don't lock up my house, and they gone and we gone. But when people, like what, half an hour or so after, they call and tell me that my house is burned. I tell them, no, my house not burned because I just fog. They fog me or just help to fog it out. So them mosquito and different thing, no? Yeah, so I tell them, because you know dengue, with dengue and thing, so I tell them my house not burned, but when I get 2, 3 more calls from the people, I turn around and I say, I can check. And when I come in up Raccoon Street, I see the smoke. I say, well, but that's right at my house. I want to, when we reach here, the house done up on flames. Yeah. The house done up on flame, and they made it out it, and so they made it out it, the fire engine made it out it. Apparently, it look like the first fire truck when they run out of water, so the thing start again. I just gone and catch the back part because when I'm retired, I don't want peace to my house street level now, and so that start to catch every week. I don't see nothing, not even close. Only this I got time.
So no one was at home when this happened?
No. I care out my wife, and my wife made watch all the baby, so I care out my wife and baby, and we gonna buy soft drink. So we still have in that vehicle, and out when we out there, and I care out my daughter too. With the police, she may gonna buy too. So out by carrying them out, I get a call, and so they tell me about my house. So, but I just want to say, this is just one of the things, man. We have to have ups and downs in our life. And we not save nothing. If anybody could help me with anything, and with clothes or food or more donation money, I think we try to get back on my foot. Because I know maybe this Christmas, I know I say no Christmas, but I know the word about that because there's a lot more Christmas. But I just want to help so I could get back something by my place where I did, so we could go on shelter now. Look for just got me 25 years anniversary, me and my wife, because we did together 38 years. We're married 25, and all the drinks, everything in the house just burned up, so we can't save nothing.
Miles says they intend to stay in a spare room at their daughter's home, but need a mattress. He can be reached at 615-6008. Up north, a fire on Sunday night left a San Roman Ardwak family without a home, small business and belongings. Arabella Mo told the media that around 11 that night she was already in bed and was falling asleep when she sensed heat and opened her eyes to see white smoke in her room. She then went out to her living room and realized her house was on fire. She went back into her room to save her 6-year-old daughter and escaped the burning house. Moss said that she was unable to save anything else and is now left without clothing, documents and other belongings, as all had burned in the fire. She also lost a small shop that she had attached to her home. Mo, who is a single mother, is now appealing for assistance so that she can begin to rebuild her home and return to some level of normalcy. Her daughter also goes to primary school and lost all her school items. Her 13-year-old son was not at home at the time. Funds can be donated to Atlantic Bank account number 212041495 in the name of Arabella Manse Mo. She can also be contacted at 652-2024. Meanwhile, just before midday on Monday, a fire broke out at the residence of 64-year-old Concepcion Rosa in San Jose Orange Walk. The fire then spread to a wooden building in the same yard, which belonged to Rosa's father, 90-year-old Fabiano Rodriguez. Rosa told the media she was in her vegetable and fruit shop when she was alerted that her home in the back was on fire. She was not able to save anything and escaped with her father, who was also home at the time, with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Sadly, their dogs perished in the fire. As Rosa said, she did not want to risk her own life to save them. The fire destroyed both homes and the shop. Rosa's original home was also destroyed by fire, and she said it took 10 years for her to save up to buy her recent home, which was prefabricated. After the break, Belize Rural Central Area Representative says more assistance is coming for flood victims, and Disability Act signed on International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Stay with us. Welcome back. The news continues. On Monday, we told you about the letter that UDP Kaya North Standard Bearer Dr. Omar Figueroa wrote to Chief Elections Officer Josephine Tamai, calling for sanctions to be levied against principal occupants of so-called safe houses who provided wrong information about secondary occupants for voter registration purposes. Safe houses are addresses that are stacked with voters despite them not residing there. In this case, Dr. Figueroa alleged that over 400 voters registered in the Kaya North Division did not actually reside there. However, when over 100 objections were taken to court, San Ignacio Magistrate Cara Walters ordered that the names of 23 electors be struck off the Kaya North voters register. According to Dr. Figueroa, the others were not ordered struck off due to technicalities. As part of the case, the magistrate made locus visits to some of the houses and addresses in question. Well, on Monday, Tamai wrote back to Dr. Figueroa rejecting accusations and assertions of corruption. In particular, Figueroa asked that 2 employees of the Kaya North Registration Office be investigated over their own participation in the scheme to get voters from outside Kaya North to be registered in the division. Tamai also informed Dr. Figueroa that because the 23 electors who were ordered struck off have appealed the magistrate's decision, they will allow the court process to proceed until there is final determination. She did not provide any other explanation or response to Dr. Figueroa's allegations. He has written back to Tamai reiterating his request for a meeting to substantiate those claims about the Kaya North Registration Office not conducting its due diligence when it comes to the registration of voters. In response to the call from 7 News director Jules Vasquez that there be a press conference about several instances of petty corruption, that is, low-level corruption, that have come to light in the Immigration Department, which now falls under responsibility of the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Immigration fired off a testy statement pushing back on that suggestion. The call by Vasquez was made following the latest incident in which police discovered several immigration stamps during a raid at a Belize City business owned by a naturalized Belizean from the United States. The ministry dubbed Vasquez as a tabloid journalist who is fixated on sensationalism, quote, in the guise of public knowledge, end quote. The ministry then informs that it is focused on conducting a credible, careful and comprehensive investigation, quote, particularly as it suggests a serious breach in our security protocols and complicity by public officers within our ministry. Our goal is to end corruption in the ministry, and with such sensitive issues and players within the investigation, we regret to inform Mr. Vasquez that we cannot keep him apprised of every move made at the ministry level or within the Belize Police Department, end quote. The ministry affirms that information will be presented to the public when it is prudent to do so in order not to prejudice the investigation. The ministry says it is collaborating with the police department and the office of the DPP on the matter. The raid was conducted on November 18. When we spoke with Immigration CEO Tania Santos on November 19, she told us they were still trying to determine if the stamps were authentic and belonged to the government. She did say that the visas were determined to be fraudulent. The Belize River Valley communities continue to grapple with flood waters inside their homes and farms. Today, the area representative for Belize Rural Central, Honorable Dolores Balderramos Garcia, provided an update on the flood conditions in her constituency and assures that residents are receiving assistance and will receive more help once flood waters recede.
As the Belize Rural Central representative, we have been out there, we have been on the ground, we have delivered food packages and also cleaning supplies packages, and the water is still high in the Lords Bank area, also to an extent Sunset Park and Westlake and Western Pines. So those communities near the John Smith Road, but also coming down the Belize River in Lords Bank, and we will continue to reach out to all our people. Now, when the waters recede, when the flood waters recede, we will have to look at those affected in terms of their homes, because there may be water damage, there may be need for further building materials, etc. And I do want to say that not only the ministry, but myself as area rep, we will continue to reach out and make sure that we give the response that is necessary.
In other news, today is being observed worldwide as the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, and in Belize, the day this year was made even more special as the Governor General of Belize, Her Excellency Dame Froila Salam, signed the Belize Disability Act into law. Earlier today, Minister of Human Development, Honorable Dolores Balderramos Garcia, spoke on the signing and on the act.
Well, within a year, most institutions, ministries, and large businesses will need to make adjustments for disability access. So you have a window of opportunity, but we will be looking at larger businesses, government in particular, to make sure that there is disability access. As we know, the National Assembly building itself has been completely gutted now for full renovation so that they can put in an elevator, for example. I never forget, Marion, I never forget the day when we had the first and second readings of the disability legislation. There was a lady who had to drag herself. She had to actually drag herself into the National Assembly and then be put back in the wheelchair to be in the gallery. But, it brought tears to my eyes. I myself have had the experience, of not having that access to buildings. So that is one practical change that definitely will come. But we also have an interministerial task force looking at how we can bring into place some of the other practical changes. So let's be practical, no? We're not asking a panades shop to put in a ramp, but we are asking Bowen and Bowen, the Row group of companies. I'm just pulling it out. Already many of them do have that access, but again, what we're saying is make a double check.
After the break, legendary Belizean Nadia Catus laid to rest. Stay tuned.
Zingmas 2024. That's right, it's a Zing.
November 20 was the 35th anniversary of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. It was a historic treaty which was established in 1989 and which set the universal standards for the treatment, care and protection of children. Today, Minister of Human Development, Honorable Dolores Balderramos Garcia, spoke of Belize's roadmap to achieving this.
Sitting here today, I'm very proud of the 35 years of the Convention on the Rights of the Child because so much has been done. And we have signaled as a country that we are on the cutting edge of making sure that we do everything that is right for the children. Let me just add here that the committee, the National Committee for Families and Children, is now a commission. So we have given it greater importance in terms of the institutional strengthening, and also we have made sure that the voices of children are being heard.
We are in the middle of the 16 days of activism, which focuses on gender-based violence and the need to put a stop to its occurrence. Still, gender-based violence continues to be reported. Today, Minister of Human Development, Honorable Dolores Balderramos Garcia, asked for there to be compassion shown to those who make police reports on such instances, even those who later withdraw court action. She also highlighted the effects such abuse has on children in a household.
Even during the 16 days of activism, we do still have abuse. We do still have people going to the police and saying, I want to make this report. And I want to say this, not because a woman might make a report and say to the police, I don't want further action. I am making this report for future reference. I don't think we should ever condemn a victim of any form of gender-based abuse, I don't think we should condemn a victim for saying, I don't want further action. Because the fact that, and it's mostly women, the fact that that woman did make a police report shows that there is not the silence and the hiding when it comes to what is wrong. So even though she may later say either to the police or to the court that she doesn't want further action, I think it is important for us to still offer that support. Many times, because of children, because of situations of dependency, etc., a victim of domestic abuse may not want to leave the relationship right away. Sometimes it takes 3, 4, 5 times. And of course, we always have to think about the children. But let me also say this. Since we are commemorating 35 years of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, we also have to remember the harm that can be done to children when there are abusive relationships. So I want to mention that, and I want to make a call to all our families. One of the ways of protecting our children is to make sure that we lessen the incidences of domestic and gender-based and intimate partner violence.
The legendary Nadia Evadne-Catus, who was a Belizean-born British actress, singer and songwriter, sadly passed away on October 29 in London. She transitioned just 5 days before her 100th birthday. She became known to the rest of the world during her time in London, but while there, she never forgot her Belizean roots and kept connected. Catus was laid to rest on Monday in the UK, and Her Excellency Therese Rath, the High Commissioner of Belize to the UK, paid tribute to Nadia Catus in representation of the people and government of Belize.
There are not many of us who have had or will have the length of time and the geographic and public coverage that is the remarkable, diverse legacy of Miss Nadia Catus. Today, as we celebrate her life, I'm here on behalf of the government and people of Belize to pay tribute to Miss Nadia and to convey our condolences to her family and friends on her departure from this earthly life. I will not highlight her many accomplishments across a very wide range of activities, as there are much more qualified personnel that have and will do that today. But I share that Miss Nadia was a name that was well known at the Belize High Commissioner as a distinguished, active, and honorable member of the Belize diaspora. In 2009, Nadia Katouche received a Meritorious Service Award from the government of Belize in recognition of her advancement of social, cultural, and political awareness among Belizeans and other Caribbean people in the UK. In a cabinet brief upon her passing, it was recalled that Miss Nadia helped many Belizeans and other Caribbean nationals to settle when they moved to the UK. Miss Nadia will also be remembered for her role in helping the father of our nation, George Price, and his delegation to return home from the UK when discussions with the British broke down in 1957 over Belize's right to self-determination and independence. The world needs role models. The world needs women of action. The world needs entertainers and storytellers, just as it needs love and acceptance. And somehow, Miss Nadia embodied them all. As Belizeans, we will attribute a measure of her extraordinary success to her Belizean heritage. May she rest in peace.
We thank Penelope Casasola for the images of the ceremony. Employees of Bowen & Bowen this year for the 15th year have come together to collect funds to help less fortunate ones have a Christmas meal. The company matches the donations and has also received funds from the Coca-Cola Company to help curate 250 boxes to distribute with the help of various non-profit organizations. Corporate Relations Manager at Bowen & Bowen, Rosanna Villanueva, spoke of the initiative and of the generosity of their employees.
Our jingle boxes are funded largely from contributions from our employees. The company matches what employees contribute, and then we have been very lucky over the past couple of years to get extra funds from the Coca-Cola Company. So that has allowed us to increase the number of boxes to 250, and we've also been able to increase the value of the items in the boxes. So we're very happy because we know that these boxes are much needed across the country. And along with our partner NGOs, they're going to go to families who really need it. So we're very happy about that.
We normally focus on the recipients, but talk about your employees who donate towards this.
Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of our Bowen & Bowen members who have taken from their personal funds and have contributed towards this initiative this year. In fact, this year we were able to break our record, and we've collected the most that we ever have. So I'm super proud of them. I'm hoping the trend continues, and maybe next year we can increase the number of boxes. We'll see. We don't know yet. But yeah, it's very special for us simply because it's not just that we have the manpower, we have a team that comes out to pack the boxes, but also that they've been contributing from their personal funds.
Can you talk to us about the items that they're getting?
Sure. So the idea of a jingle box is that it's all the items to make an entire family meal for Christmas. So the boxes have all the basics. It has rice, beans, we have salad cream, mayonnaise, we have extra treats in there. We have Coca-Cola, we have Minute Maid, we have chips, cookies, we have peas and carrots, whatever you would need to make a complete family Christmas meal. They also have a gift certificate from Quality Poultry, where they can go to redeem and get poultry items for the meal. Yeah.
We hear from representatives of the Belize Red Cross, Society of St. Vincent de Paul, and the Bamopan branch of the Belize Cancer Society and how these boxes will assist members.
Okay, so first of all, we're very grateful to Bowen & Bowen for these Merry boxes, these jingle boxes. Last year, with the 20 that we received, we were able to identify and support people living with disabilities through our wheelchair program. So this year, with the 15 boxes that we are receiving, we are going to support the families that were affected by flooding. As you know, the villages in the Coyote district and some parts of the Belize River Valley, they were affected by the recent flooding, and so our volunteers and staff are currently out in the Belize River Valley area doing assessments, and through those assessments we will identify the 15 most in need to support them with these boxes.
Okay, so Society of St. Vincent de Paul is an organization. It is a non-profit. Basically, we join the world in a social network of charity to help those in our parish community that are struggling, maybe the shut-ins, those with disabilities. These jingle boxes will help us to carry out that mission a little more.
We are more than happy to receive these boxes to help the real needy And at the moment, President Mon, with the help of the members, we're gathering the names of the people who really need. And in Balmopan, we did have a little flooding too to the people at the Mayamopan area, the Savapan, the JNW establishments. So presently, we're gathering the names to send out the jingle boxes to the people that really need it.
Students from across the country recently learned about the various cultures in Belize on Culture Day. For students from Eden SDA preschool and primary school, things were done a bit differently. Each class is assigned a culture, and the students then present information on the culture's history, food, and attire. The school also honors a few international cultures, as there are also students who are from Europe, South America, and Central America. Principal Sharon Carl Lopez explained why the day is important.
We have Cultural Day and we are looking at the food, the music, the languages, everything that has to do with the different cultures we have in Belize. So each class was given a set culture to represent, and so those persons will come dressed in those ethnic groups and they're going to present. Now, some people will be saying, but if my child is a Creole, then why would my child dress in a Mayan outfit? The point of that activity is for them to understand that, yes, my culture is important, but there are other cultures that are also important in their country. And we need to learn about our different cultures, not just our culture. So I'm not just going to learn about Creole. I'm going to learn about Mayan. I'm going to learn about East Indian, Chinese, and all the others that we have. So it's important for us to celebrate it that way. And I'm telling you, last year, we had a blast. These kids were talking and they were explaining, like, oh, I did not know that. And we also do what we call international cultures as well, because we have students from Paris, we have students from Argentina, and so, and from Central America, other Central American countries. And so they have their own culture as well. So we ensure that we add in international cultures.
Extra police presence on the highways and near commercial areas is expected for this holiday season. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams told the media that with the increase of road traffic accidents, particularly ones involving motorcycles, more officers will be out monitoring the highways. There will also be an increase in police presence in commercial areas as more residents will be out shopping for the season.
Of course, yes, the police will continue to do what we can to avert these fatal traffic accidents involving motorcycles in particular. It is a very challenging one because as much as we try to educate drivers or riders of these motorcycles, we're still seeing on the part of some of them who are very reckless in how they maneuver these motorcycles in the city and on the highways. And so the police continue to work along with the Department of Transport and in the cities and towns with the local traffic department to see what we can do to be able to avert these things from happening. In terms of crime, again, for the Christmas period, we do what we normally do, which is to conduct the annual Christmas anti-crime campaign. This is where we see police officers would come out, having worked their shift for the day. They come out in the evening time and do extra patrol between 6 and 10 p.m. In the business areas as well as the hotspots. This is done with a view to ensure that those persons who wish to go out and do their Christmas shopping can do so in a crime-free environment, feeling safe with the presence of the police, as well as for merchants to be able to conduct business in a safe environment.
And the Ministry of Infrastructure Development today closed the low-lying San Ignacio Santa Elena Bridge, and it will remain closed until Sunday, December 15. During that time, the ministry will conduct an assessment of the structural stability of the base of the bridge and undertake any necessary maintenance and repair works once the floodwaters recede. The public has been advised to use the Hawksworth Bridge and the new Macau Bridge in the meantime. And with that, we have come to the end of our newscast. A repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am Marisol Amaya. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.